Hello, everyone. This is Ruhaya. I'm one of the global focal points for the Children and Youth Major Group to UNEP, CYMG, and we will start our call soon. As per our agenda item, so as per our agenda, and then we'll get things going before 8, before sorry, 2 5. So yeah, we are waiting for others to join. Um, Thanks for your patience. If you want to get introduced, please feel free to use the comment section, chat section to, put your name, your country, probably your organization or university that you represent. Let's start. Once again, welcome to the Children and Youth Major Group monthly constituency call for the month of November 2023. And we are very happy to have all of you today in the monthly constituency call. So let's start with our agenda, which obviously first agenda is the opening of the meeting. And we are opening our call officially now. And then we have our sorry, yes. So this is the agenda of our meeting today. So we have already started our call, and then in next 5 minutes we'll discuss about the Children and Youth Major Group and its institutional framework, because we actually know that we have a lot of new members to the constituency now. And then we will also give you updates on the regional works that happened in last 2 months. And then also, as per the agenda item 4, we'll provide you updates on the thematic works. We'll also give you a briefing on the preparation for upcoming UNEP meetings. And then we will also update you on the Global Youth Environment Assembly, UNIA, and CYMG roadmap that we have now. We also update you on the new constituency logo. We also update you on the Global Steering Committee and OFT recruitments for the remaining positions. And then if you feel that you have anything to share which is not relevant to any of the first 8 agenda items, then you can bring anything in the agenda item number 9, and then we'll close the meeting. Let's discuss about the Children and Youth Major Group and its institutional framework. So the Children and Youth Major Group is a constituency of the major groups and stakeholders, MGS accredited to UNEP. So it's one of the 9 major groups who are accredited to UNEP to facilitate broader civil society engagement in UNEP processes. So we are one of the major groups. So major group is something that you can compare with like constituency. So the official name of the constituency is Children and Youth Major Group, CYMG. And we are a mandated constituency by the United Nations Environment Assembly to mobilize young people from around the world, facilitate their participation in different UNEP meetings, including obviously United Nations Environment Assembly sessions and its subsidiary body meetings, and then other UNEP meetings. And then obviously it's a huge network of 900 plus youth organizations and 4,000 plus youth individual members. I think the current statistics, I mean, we have more members now. The mailing list, we have around like 5,200 plus members, and yet maybe another few thousands to be added because we have a huge backlog. And then we have representatives of who are, so in the constituency, you can represent individual, and then you can also represent your own organization. So who are our members? Obviously, individuals are our members, and organizations are our members as well, who have registered for it. But the constituency is always open to young people who wants to be part of the constituency, and join the work. So our primary medium of communication is our official mailing list, where we send all the updates, all the opportunities, updates regarding environmental matters. So as you can see on the screen, our mailing list is cymg-unep@googlegroups.com, and I hope that you are all added to the mailing list. That's why you have got the information, registered for the meeting today, and then you joined. So we have a website where you will get more information, but I believe that we need to put on more efforts to make it to make website look more professional, a bit more user friendly. But we have adequate information for you to get things going. So if you have more questions, if you want to check out the things, then please go through our website. And obviously, as an entity, our constituency has a framework. But just to remind that our constituency is a flat structure, means there is no hierarchy. There is no such like governing body. It's completely based on consensus. It's completely based on the interests and the opinions of our members. So the institutional framework that we have now, the assembly, as you can see on the screen, represents the entirety of the constituency, like all the members, all the bodies, all the structures, everything. The assembly represents the entirety of the constituency. We have obviously 2 representatives who represent the constituency, maybe in different meetings with other constituencies, with other sister constituencies, sister major groups within the UNEP space, and also with other entities. So they are elected by the accredited organizations, and these positions are called global focal points. So normally 2 global focal points are elected for a mandate of 2 years, and I'm one of them. My colleague Gubin is also elected. He is from the UK. Besides, as you can see on the screen, we have the operations facilitation team. Currently, this team is not that operational. So we will call for maybe applications for this team. So this is the team which performs the administrative works for the constituency, facilitate the communication, social media, mailing lists, Google Drive things. And then we also have the Global Steering Committee, which is kind of a committee of representatives from different regional groups and the working groups. As you can see on the working in the regional list of regional groups, we have 6 regional groups. So already for the Africa, Asia Pacific, and then LAC, it's kind of structured. We're working on now to structurize, to make the structure, to create the structure for the Europe, North America, and West Asia, where we earlier had a very limited participant engagement. So we are trying to increase the engagement in these regions. We have so far 17 working groups, as you can see on the screen. I don't want to name each of them, but you can always see on the screen maybe. So one of the working groups, which is kind of the permanent working group, is the Policy Coordination Group, PCG. PCG is a permanent working group, and other working groups, those are kind of depends on the engagement of the avenues we have within the UNEP space. So currently these working groups actually have their own engagement avenues. Like I can talk about the plastic action working group that we have now. Plastic action working group was earlier named as marine litter and microplastics working group, because before actually 2022, the process UNEP had for further operationalizing negotiation on the subject matter was named as the ad hoc expert group on marine litter and microplastics. Following that, we also named our working group after that. But when they changed it and created a new body, negotiating committee, international negotiating committee on plastic pollution, we also changed the name of the working group. So it's a variable, but for the policy coordination group, it's kind of a permanent structure. We also are looking for creating an expert advisory group. As you know, that UNEP is a very big programmatic agency of UN, and it administers a lot of bodies like IPCC, science policy bodies like IPCC, IPBES, IRP, GEO, Global Environment Outlook. So we want to bring together young people who are working for these science policy interfaces in one committee, and then make a platform for them to engage and then further provide inputs for the constituency in different policy processes. We also have a plan to, to assemble all of our accredited organizations, because currently I think our constituency has around probably the number is 60 accredited youth or accredited organizations who are categorized as children youth led or children youth serving organization within UNEP space. So we want to create a committee for them so that they get a space and they get a place to discuss among themselves, because they're the one who vote for the focal points in every 2 years. So they should also get some opportunity to, share their thoughts with the broader constituency, and then maybe perhaps provide inputs to the decision making of the inter-constituency. And also, as per our process and procedure document of the constituency, we have the provision of creating different networks and platforms, perhaps following the trend of UNEP's work. So those networks and the platforms are obviously independent in nature, autonomous in nature, but they can also stay affiliated with the constituency and, keep collaborating with the working groups and maybe other structures of the constituency. So I'll just stop there. If you have any question now on this, CYMG things, about the constituency or about the structure, please feel free to ask now or put on the chat. Uh, Perhaps later we can move on to the next agenda item. Yeah, I see one hand raised. Hangzi Young. Okay. Then
Yes.
Faisal.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you, Hangzi.
All right. So, I'm a little bit curious about the part of global focal points because I have noticed some focus groups published on the official website of organizations like UNEP Youth Task Force, and I recognize that such kind of focus group was claimed not to be accredited to UNEP, so maybe not accredited to CYMG UNEP, is that right? And I'm just a little bit curious about the relationships between the focus groups and our organization, our constituency here.
I think in previous years, our previous focal points and then previous leadership structure, they actually created a lot of focus groups to operationalize further, youth engagement in different environmental issues. But currently, our constituency doesn't have any focus group. Maybe those are the groups which has been created like well before, and those are not like operationalized anymore, or those are not active anymore. So, but yeah, we have the provision, but at the same time, the constituency is not just a body of accredited entities and organizations. We also have, I mean, maybe it's one of the very few major groups within the UNEP space that we also give access to the non-accredited youths, individuals, and organizations to be part of the constituency and to engage in decision making for the constituency.
All right, much thanks.
Thank you. So I think we have more hand raised now. I can see from Faisal.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Faisal from Nigeria, Abuja. So this is my first time joining this
Faisal, you are
constituency
not,
meeting.
sorry, you are not actually clearly audible. Can you please, um,
Okay, I'm audible now.
yes, it's better.
My name is Faisal Salibadi from Nigeria, Abuja. This is my first time joining the constituency, and I'm a little bit confused about what are we going to do as members of this constituency, and what is it all about? And is it that we are going to have a physical meeting in the future, or is just always this online meeting always? Thank you.
Yes, that's why we're discussing about the constituency, how it functions, and then what's the structure and where you can be part of. As you can see, we have 17 working groups and 6 regional groups. You can obviously be part of your own regional group, and then any of the, or maybe multiple working groups, thematic working groups that we have. But yes, you obviously cannot get to know everything in one day. So I hope that you will get give you some time to understand the fact. But yeah, so as a member, you can provide inputs to any decision making, to any written submission, any intervention statement that we present collectively to any policy process of UNEP. So that's the perhaps maybe the primary or the basic responsibility or the uh, right of each of the members that we have. Yeah, that will I'll just keep it there. We will obviously discuss about this later, and you will, I think, get some idea after this call. Then I see one hand raised from Partho Protim.
Yeah, hello.
Thank
Am I
you.
audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, hello. Hello everyone. So I just have one doubt. The doubt is that I just wanted to join the expert advisory group, and I wanted to join the expert advisory group on ocean science and governance and green economy. So, what is the procedure for that, and are you currently accepting applications for these groups?
So, I mean, to be the member of different working groups, there is no such application process. So obviously it depends on each of the working group how they assemble the members in their own process. Working groups, obviously they can, like some of the working groups, they have like registration process. They do have their own mailing list again, and they have a kind of EOI form, express of interest to be part of that working group form, where you can just put on. But I think will share all the details soon. You can obviously be part of any of the working groups. Clean economy working group is not that active now, but we are going to activate the working group soon, because there's a meeting, UNEP meeting, that's going to take place in February next year, which is obviously relevant to the work of the Green Economy Working Group. Ocean Science and Working Group is a very new one. We are actually looking for the representatives now. The selection, we actually call for applications, and the selection process is now ongoing. So when we'll have a new facilitator, he or she will obviously give you more updates to the mailing list, to the main mailing list we have. Regarding the expert advisory group, this is obviously not open for every member. So to be part of, we didn't actually share the call for EOI, expression of interest, to be part of the expert advisory group yet, because we are also trying to sketch out like the youth participation in different science policy interfaces, because this expert advisory group will be kind of a team of youth scientists and experts active in different science policy interfaces, including but not limited to like IPCC, IPBS, IRP, and any other science policy body they work on. So they might have to prove their affiliation with the science policy interfaces, or any maybe science policy interface that is not in our radar now. But yeah, they can maybe share. So obviously we will share. We have already drafted the TOR. I shared that earlier. A couple of months ago, we shared that with the constituency mailing list for have inputs. But we will obviously probably share the call for interest to be part of the the expert advisory group soon, probably in December. That's one update I can share. And yeah, I think that I hope that responds to your question. You can see one hand raised from James.
Okay, thank you. I'm just curious. Globally, use people below age 35. How sustainable will it be for the initiative? Because at one point we are going to get beyond 35 years. Will it be still be members, or will live upon exiting the youth? Thank you.
I think, we are just complying with even practice, right? So even actually consider anyone under 35 as youth, and anyone under 18 as a child. So we are just complying with that. And obviously, when you are 35, when anyone is over 35, he or she has more opportunities to engage in other processes, because as you know, the Children Youth Major Group is one of the 9 major groups. You have other major groups. You have the NGO major group, you have the women major group, you have the indigenous people major group. You can get affiliated with any of those major groups. So anyone can be part of that major group. Even a young person can be part of the indigenous people's major group or women major group, right? So yeah, it's up to the people, what platform they want to get attached to. But yes, so I think there's obviously sustainability, like whatever you learn or whatever you gain from the children and youth space, you can bring that to the next level, to the next platform, and obviously work on that. And even if you are not a youth, or any person who is not a youth anymore, he or she has always the opportunity to work for the youth. So there's an opportunity to be the youth serving entity, and through that you can be part of the Children Youth Major Group. Perhaps if you are over 35, you won't be able to engage in the decision making, but you can be part of the you can be an observer to the major group, Children Youth Major Group, and obviously share your insightful thoughts, which we can work on and develop things further. Thank you, James. I don't see any hand raised now. I think it's James' whole hand. Let's move on to the next agenda item. Sorry, yeah, I see one hand raised from Mahnur Rashid. Mahnur, the floor is yours.
Hello, yes, I did put my question in the chat box, but I'll ask it again here. It's all right. So this is my first time attending a constituency call. I'm a new member. So when I received the email, there was a WhatsApp group link. I did try to join it, but it showed me error. Later, when I again opened the email, it had no WhatsApp link, but it did have Telegram link. So I was
Yeah.
wondering if you could guide if the major group is active on WhatsApp or not, because I really don't have a Telegram account. I'll have to make a new one. And secondly, if there is a WhatsApp link, can you please share it in the chat box maybe? It would be of really helpful.
Yes. So there's a difficulty that we are facing with WhatsApp now, because earlier I think WhatsApp used to allow more members to be part of one WhatsApp community or a WhatsApp group. Currently, the limit is 2,000, but we have 5,000 plus members in the constituency mailing list. So that's why it's not allowing anyone else to be a part of the WhatsApp community or the WhatsApp groups we have now. But we are now thinking of, creating. So all the working groups, WhatsApp groups that we have for different working groups and regional groups are under one big WhatsApp community, which is like CYMG community. And as we have already reached to the, maximum limit of membership for the WhatsApp community there, so we are not being able to add anyone else. So that's why maybe it was not working for you. Um, so that's why now we were thinking how we can, maybe we will try to liberate the WhatsApp groups for each working groups, and then maybe separately we'll share with the constituency, and then constituency can decide to join, the members can decide to join any of the working groups of their interest. But it will take some time. I'm really, really sorry for that, because it's not even our fault. It's like WhatsApp's, there's a limitation in the WhatsApp, right? You cannot add more than, but yeah, we will share every opportunity to the mailing list. So I will just request all of you to be active in the mailing list, and then share anything if you want, if you deem necessary, with the, the Gmail we have. Yeah, thank you, Mahani.
So until we find like a solution to the WhatsApp issue,
Yeah.
We are going to wait in the mailing list only. We are not
Yes,
going
I
to
mean, that's
be
the
participating.
primary medium of communication. Whatever we do, that will be shared with the, obviously with the mailing list. I mean, no matter if you are a member of WhatsApp community, because a lot of members, they don't have you on WhatsApp. So we share everything through the mailing list. So until we find a solution for this WhatsApp issue, I will request all of you to be active on the email. Yeah. I can see one hand raised for Tamsir.
Thank you very much. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're joining. So, my name is Samsir Salah from the Gambia, but currently living in the Netherlands. So, I was actually a party delegate and also an observer for both the SPPT and the AC 24th meeting in Bonn. So, also a member of Young under the Los Angeles Adaptation Working Group. So, this is my first consequence call, like with the people. So, I was just asking in the chat, like, if I can probably the opportunity to have like the different working groups where probably one can register and join and part of at least one or two working groups. So thank you.
Yes, Tamsir, thanks for sharing your thoughts, and thanks for obviously joining the Children Youth Major Group, CYMG. CYMG is the abbreviated form that we use normally to communicate. So you can always say, I'm a member of CYMG, that I say, I'm a member of CYMG. So yes, yeah, we will work on it soon with all the facilitators we have for different working groups. Now we'll work on it, and we will provide a solution to join different working groups, because earlier we didn't actually face this. Currently we have a lot of members in the mailing list, like 5,000 plus. So, and obviously for different app-based services, there's a limit. So we are trying to find, we are actually trying to, I mean, we are working on finding a solution. So yes, we'll give you updates on that, and you will be able to join different working groups. Thank you. Let's move on to the next agenda item. Perhaps as we are like literally getting delayed, so maybe we will take your question later, or maybe you can
Okay,
share in
sure.
the chat or in the AOB. So now we have to get things going. The next agenda item that we have is, sorry, I think I have to share my screen again. So the next agenda item we have is, oops, it's, yeah. Oh, no. Agenda item 3, updates on the regional work. I'll quickly request Vikrant Srivastava to unmute himself and then provide updates on APYEF 23 and APMF in Sri Lanka.
Thank you so much, Zubair. I hope everyone is doing well and fine. Am I audible? Just a voice check.
Yes, Vikrant, you are.
Thank you so much. Yep. So APYF, first of all, stand for Asia Pacific Youth Environment Forum. We had our second Youth Environment Forum and the first in-person Youth Environment Forum this year in October 1st and October 2nd. Below, you can also see in the agenda, there is two documents. One is on Asia Pacific Youth Environment Manifesto, and the second is the highlights from the APYEF. So Asia Pacific Youth Environment Forum was organized by Children and Youth Major Group and also supported by UNEP Regional Office and UN Country Office of Sri Lanka. So with the two of these UN agency, we were able to bring more than 100 youth in funded, self-funded, and in Sri Lankan based youth. We were able to fund around 12. Correct me if I'm wrong,
13.
Zubair.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah, 13. Yeah. So during the 2 days, we had wonderful sessions. Approx we have 8 sessions, and then we have two technical side event also. The two technical side circularity in Asia Pacific within the climate resilience. And some of the sessions were highlighting on youth for clean air, urban sustainability, environment, human right, the plastic treaty we want. As you all know, that INC3 is just starting. So, and then we have first in-person children and environment session, which was a huge success. And then we also had some of the other session basically on the climate change adaptation, science policy business forum, Cumming model, global biodiversity framework. And then at last, we had our declaration of youth manifesto. Some of the key action point I would like to highlight. You can also go through the link and have a look the full declaration we had, and we highlighted some of the points were the adaptation of Pact of the Future at the 2024 Summit of the Future, because UNEP is also part of the Summit of the Future, which will be happening next year around October. Then we emphasize more on net zero greenhouse emission by 2050. We talk more on how inclusive of youth in decision making process can be, particularly in science policy interference and finance mechanism. We also push to establish a funding mechanism with a youth-friendly approach, and also one of our youth resolutions. We put this in our youth manifesto this year in the Asia Pacific also, and then we also will be looking forward to establish in the upcoming UNIA. That was call for resolution on children and youth to ensure their rights on to a healthy environment, and particularly in decision making. Again, the manifesto concluded with a pledge from the youth to be the agent of change, and again appeal to the government, international organization, stakeholders, and other voices that can come and collaborate with us. One of the key outcome of the Asia Pacific Youth Forum was the minister himself from Sri Lanka, the Minister of Environment and Climate Change. He took this opportunity and declared there will be a Sri Lankan Youth Council who will be working parallelly with the Climate Change and Environment Ministry. And then this was officially around during the opening of Youth Environment Forum, which is a huge success. And we are also coordinating with these amazing youth from Sri Lanka, how this is coming up. Recently, I came to a news that the minister himself lost his seat. The new minister is being setting up and they are coordinating, and we will be supporting throughout the policy and throughout the forum as is taking place. And yeah, and we also got informal two recommendations from Sri Lankan youth, from the minister, from the secretary, sorry, that two Sri Lankan youth will be attending UNIA 6. This was informal. We are still coordinating and looking how this will be coming up. In the Asia Pacific Ministerial Forum, we got and four opportunity. We got you can also have a look all the intervention we did, and including the statement we delivered throughout the Asia Pacific fifth forum of ministerial and environment authorities. We did on the opening, and we also did statement on item 3C, which was the draft ministerial declaration for the sixth UNEP. And then we also uh, did a statement on agenda 5, which was again on the opening of the minister and the fifth forum of minister and environment authority. We also did a statement on agenda item 6, item 7, which was on multi-stakeholders dialogue, multilateral environmental corporates to tackle climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution and challenges. So uh, from the APAC region, youth, it was a huge success. But we will not be stopping here. We are working on the report outcome at this moment. We have able reports and inputs from all the attendees, those who are in person, funded, and in self capacity. We will be launching the report in next 2 weeks, hopefully. Some of our colleagues are busy in INC3 and other upcoming events, but yeah, we will be soon launching the reports. They will be full outcome report, and still you can also have in the links I have provided in the agenda. But feel free to reach out to me if you need further more updates and further more clarities on any of the agenda, on any of the sessions. Yeah, over to you, Zubair.
Regarding the Asia Pacific Youth Forum and the Asia Pacific Ministerial Forum in Sri Lanka. Yeah, thank you, Vikram, for the updates of the next speakers. I will literally request, I'll generously request to keep the intervention within 2 minutes because we are already late. So for the next one, agenda item is 3B, LAC Youth and Women Forum and LAC Ministerial Forum in Panama. I think we had few youths from our side who attended in person the LAC Ministerial Forum and the in Panama, and obviously before that we had the LAC Youth and Women Forum, which took place on online virtually this year. So do we have Alejandro or Mario to provide updates on this? Or anyone who actually attended want to provide update on this? Felipe,
Yeah, sure.
please.
Yeah, sure. If I'm Mario or Alejandro isn't there, I could give a brief intervention. Okay, so the LAC Youth Environment Forum went along swimmingly. We had representatives from UNEP and the World Bank there. The Ministerial Forum focused on spread across 2 days. We focused on pollution as well as oceans on the second day. I can't remember exactly what we did the first day. I wasn't in attendance for that one. But it went on suddenly. We had Latin American youth. The event was live streamed as well. We had, I think, over 100 participants. It was very well done, very well executed. We gain a lot of inputs that go towards guiding our decision making towards the ministerial forum process. So it was very well done. We had youth speakers and youth moderators, myself included, from the Caribbean region. We had our at that point in time LAC regional focal point organizing the entire thing. So it went along swimmingly. Yeah, that's most I can say the matter. Mario and Joe would have obviously been the better candidate, but yeah.
Thank you, Joshua. I think I have seen one hand raised by Felipe. Felipe, do you want to add anything else?
Of course, thank you, Suhair. In terms of the LAC Ministers Forums, it was, I mean, we were a bit drowned by the LAC Climate Week that we had in Panama at the same time. So not many people knew about the UNEP processes over there. So it's been a challenge to like mobilize in terms of the UNEP processes, because we had the UNFCCC process at the same time. But that also meant that we were able to have a premium access to the ministers, and we had some bilaterals that were very interesting with Ecuador, Peru, Colombia. So yeah, perks and difficulties of having engagement with the UNEP processes. I think we have a challenge as a constituency, and it is mobilizing more children and youth from the Latin American and the Caribbean region. It is quite difficult for us to have negotiations at 3 a.m. so people are not mobilizing towards what is happening in Nairobi. So yeah, it's a challenge that we need to face as a constituency. Thank you, Suher.
Thank you, Felipe, for sharing your thoughts and obviously some updates from the LAC region. So we have next another sub item, Tracy, which is West Asia RCM in Oman. Asil, the next 2 minutes is yours.
Thank you, Zahir. So the regional consultative meeting for the West Asia region happened in Oman in October. It was between 22nd and 23rd. And before going deep into what happened, I would like to highlight a few points about the region in West Asia. So the RCM meetings are aimed for UNEP organization activity to UNEP and other.
Hello, Asil. Asil.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Asil. I
Sorry.
think you were muted.
Yeah. Sorry. So the regional consultative meeting, I said it's aimed for accredited organization to UNEP, and the West Asia region is only 3% of the whole accredited organization to UNEP, and it had a very participation. Also, one of the things that the ROA office, the regional office of the region, employees could not make it. The main discussions, and I would say the lion's share of the discussions during the meeting, was more about the political aspects of what's going on in Gaza and the conflict and the war and how we can address that. So again, I had an intervention and I presented CYMG work and also opened the floor for more youth engagements, because there was that kind of gap of communications between the organizations that are working in the region and the nature of their work. Some of them are NGOs, but a big portion of them are like governmental, non-for-profit organizations, and how they cannot be under the UNEP processes, and how organizations there, they have their own major group system inside the organization. But overall, there was no the main outcomes of the meetings for the statements were addressing what's going on the humanitarian crisis in the region, and how the human being are at the core of the environment, followed by a discussion on the second 2 days after. It was about the Arab Forum for Environment, where it was co-organized by the League of Arab States, UNEP, and the regional office of UNEP in Sultanate of Oman. And it aimed to address also the stakeholder engagements with dialogues and with all the participants addressing the triple planetary crisis on the route to UNIA. But yeah, so that's the main things. It was hybrid. Most of the participants could not make it to the RCM, including myself. But there was no elements or sub-elements addressing youth in general. But I demanded to organize a youth environment forum with the support of the regional office and the participating organization to at least have it for the upcoming years. And that's it. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, Azil. Thanks for the valuable updates. So far, guys, as you can see, UNIA 6, UNIA stands for United Nations Environment Assembly. The sixth session, UNIA 6, is coming next year in February. And before that, it's a practice within the UNEP space to organize the regional ministerial forums and regional consultative meetings of all civil society stakeholders. So RCM stands for Regional Consultative Meetings for all major groups and ministerial forum that we have for different regions. So these are the ministerial forum which actually provide inputs to the UNIA. The outcomes of all the ministerial forums in different regions, they actually feed into the discussions of United Nations Environment Assembly. And before that, as you know, that civil society stakeholders, it's very difficult to engage in the intergovernmental meetings, forums, like ministerial forums. That's why they organized, UNEP also organized this RCM, Regional Consultative Meeting, and they organized it for for all the regions. I mean, for different regions. We still have some in the pipeline, obviously. And we tried to organize youth forum for the Asia Pacific. We have been organizing youth forum before the ministerial forum since 2021. So it's a biannual program. So we also organized the Regional Youth and Women Forum for Asia Pacific biannually. So this was the second time we organized it. For the LAC one, it was for the first time, and we are trying to follow this practice for other regions gradually. And we're working with UNEP. We were working with the regional officers of UNEP for that. I have a request from one of our regional focal points for, she is the regional focal point for the North America. She wants to share some updates from her region. I think she has to go. I know a bit early this time, so I just want to make the floor open for her now. She will share updates on the RCM in the North America region. Shreya.
Awesome. Thank you, Zuhair. And thank you all so much for coming out to this meeting today. It's really wonderful to see so many new faces. And I really hope that many from the North America region will get engaged with UN processes. We have less ministerial dialogues and less engagement on the ground from many youth in this area, but our engagement is still critically important. So that's one of the main goals for every region, is to really engage people on the ground in this region. And I won't take up too much time because I know I'm getting us a little bit out of the agenda order, but I just wanted to share that the regional consultative meeting for the North America region is happening online on the 21st of November. So it's happening in this month in a couple of weeks. And I will be organizing a preparation call for youth specifically. So the regional consultative meeting is for all civil society stakeholders, and it's going to include discussions on topics like centering Indigenous people and restoring biodiversity, water for humans and ecosystems, climate minerals, adaptation, so a really broad range. So beforehand, we're aiming to organize a meeting with youth from CYMG to prepare for this call and to really understand what's going on and how you can contribute. So after this meeting, in the notes document and potentially in a follow-up email, there will be a Google form to sign up for that and also to express interest for people who might be interested in getting involved, interested in organizing, and being more active going forward. So there will be a sign-up sheet / interest form going out soon with that. And I hope many of you will participate. Thank you so much. I'll take quick questions before handing it back off to Zuhair.
If you have any question regarding the RCM in North America, so this is for obviously youth who are based in the North America, Mexico, Canada, or the States, United States. So you can also raise the question, and Shreya is open for your question. For the RCM.
And you'll also hear much more about the RCMs later in the meeting with the rest of the RCMs from various regions.
Yes, I can see one hand raised from Hangzi. The floor is yours.
Yes. I'm curious if members from Asia can also attend these programs, or I'm just I just have no access to it.
Yeah, I can answer that question. So there are RCMs, it's a regional meeting. So there's RCMs for every global region. So I'm just briefly talking about the RCM for North America, but there's also an RCM for the Asia Pacific region. And as the facilitators for that region can definitely speak to, it's actually far more active than the North America RCM. So I think you'll be in great hands there, but only people from this region can attend this RCM.
All right, much thanks for your answer. So, if a call for the RCM in my region is announced, should I go to our Google Groups and sign up for my interest and things like that?
I think I can respond to this question, Hangzi. Yeah, but the RCM for Asia Pacific region is open. So the next RCM will take place in 2 years.
Oh yes, I have
For this year,
recognized
yeah.
that. So
Yeah, the Asia
if
Pacific
I
Ministerial Forum and the Youth Forum, as you can see. So that's over.
really?
And that took place in Sri Lanka. Next time probably it's going to take place in Fiji.
Oh yes,
In
I've seen that on
2025,
WhatsApp. I've
yeah.
seen it on WhatsApp, and I recognize that there is a link for the registration for your organization. Could you please specify about the requirements of the organization you registered?
I'm sorry, which organization you're talking about? I'm not getting that. I'm not sure about the registration process that you're talking about.
Yeah, cause I recognize that on our WhatsApp group, there is a call for ICN, and someone told me that you have to register for an organization first before you get access to the ICN.
Sorry,
Maybe
which
I'll
one?
share.
Which one are you talking about? Sorry, ICN, INC.
Oh yes, INC.
Yeah, INC is a different process. We'll have that later. Discuss
Oh,
that later.
all right,
So
all
now
right.
we are just discussing about the regional works. Thank you, Hangzi, for your understanding. So we'll quickly move on to the next agenda item. Sorry, we're not being able to take question on the agenda item 3 because we are late. So we if we have any question, any remarks, we'll take that at AOB. So yes, the next agenda item is agenda item. Okay, 4 updates on the thematic works. I will quickly ask our whoever going to be providing inputs, providing updates on these sub items to quickly share, perhaps in 1 or 2 minutes. Do we have a Siska or Priyanka with us to provide inputs on APHRD?
Yes, I'm here. It's
Priyanka,
Priya.
thank you.
Okay.
Sure. Priyanka, please, floor is yours.
Okay, hi everyone. So, Siska, who is the other person that attended the Asia Pacific Environmental Human Rights Defenders Forum, she was not able to attend today because she had other pending work that she needed to finish. First, I'd like to thank CYMG for providing us with an opportunity to attend Asia Pacific Environmental Human Rights Defenders Forum. We had a very interesting and engaging 3 days there in Bangkok. The objective of the Asia Pacific Forum was to serve as a space for environmental human rights defenders to discuss ongoing challenges and regional trends in the promotion, protection, and realization of environmental rights, and also kind of provide a platform for Asia Pacific environmental human rights defenders to kind of network, connect, share ideas, and also simultaneously act as each other's safe space. So we had a lot of discussion going on around in that regards. The UNEP was also like, this is something I have only seen in Asia Pacific APHRD forum. It was also very considerate about the safety of environmental human rights defenders in terms of taking pictures or like posting about the event, which is so essential as an environmental human rights defender myself. So that was something very interesting that I could learn and also kind of possibly replicate in the coming days. So essentially the theme was to build capacity on data collection, which is a lot more data in itself is lacking a lot in terms of South Asia, if you ask me, and especially in Nepal. So how could we connect environmental human rights defenders with data collection was something we discussed. around this forum. I personally also had the opportunity to share the experiences of South Asia on the platform itself. So that was, I think, great exposure for CYMG itself to kind of go ahead and present things. So yeah, I'm trying to keep it very short. It was mostly focused on kind of discussing based on your region, like South Asia, Southeast Asia, Pacific region. So I was more involved with South Asia, being from South Asia itself, and Siska was more involved with Southeast Asia because she's from Indonesia and had more familiarity with the region. But overall, it was a great program, and that is pretty much it. Like in 2 minutes, that's the most I can summarize about the event. And if there are any questions that I can add to explain more, I'm open for that.
Thank you, Priyanka. I mean, if you have any link to share, maybe the link of the APHRD forum, or maybe anything, any report, you can also put on.
Okay.
I mean, that's applicable for all the speakers
Okay.
on
I'll
different
definitely
agendas.
put it up on the chat. So thank you,
sure.
Zuhair, for like
Thank
giving us this opportunity along with CYMG. I say this both from Siska and my end, and yeah, we can move ahead.
Thank you, Priyanka, and thank you for representing. And thanks to both of you for representing CYMG in the APHRD forum. We are moving on to the next agenda item, which is on Conference on Corporate Sustainability and Environmental Rights in Asia in Bangkok. Perhaps a lot of other members from other regions, they're just thinking of why we have so much of engagement in Asia Pacific. But yeah, so UNEP is very active in Asia Pacific region, and they have a very active office, and we have very good collaboration, unlike other regions, honestly speaking, because we have been working with them since 2021. So yes, the floor is open for the Quang Tran from Vietnam. He was funded by UNEP to attend this meeting in Bangkok.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chuher. Hello, everyone today. So, as I said in the report, you can take a look at my report after the conference. I already sent into the CYMG mail. So, it was my honor to speak at the Youth Business and Climate Action panel from October 3rd to 5th during the Corporate Sustainability and Environmental Rights in Asia conference. So with the section objective outlining the role that youth can play in advocating for sustainable production and responsible consumption. So I am expected to bring an insider perspective to about issue that youth in Asia can lead the change. So we already, I and other speaker in my section already unpacked the roles of businesses, the UN, and other youth plays in ensuring that youth have a voice, like meaningful engaged in the business and climate action agenda. So I am very proud to say that I bring to the idea that the young entrepreneurs should be educated and aware of human rights business as they are about to become the owners of in the futures. So technically we are success to bring to the conference the situation and the issue happen around the world, especially for the youth empowerment. So they did hear that, and we work together to find out a solution. And for close the conference, they did like give many of solution based on the problem we discussed across the conference. So I hopefully really hopeful that in the future our ideas can like apply to the real life, and the youth especially can get many opportunity from that. Thank you for listening.
Sorry. Thank you, Turn. Oh my God, it's not moving. Oops, crazy. Yes. Thank you, Turn. We are quickly moving on to the next agenda item 4C, which is the fourth meeting of the UNEP Working Group on Nitrogen in Nairobi, and we had one delegate from our CYMG who took part. I mean, international delegate, and we also had few youths, Kenyan youths who, took place, who actually attended this nitrogen working group fourth meeting in Nairobi. Rabeb, do we have you with us now to share updates?
Yes, Zuhair.
Thank you,
you.
Rabeb.
Thanks a lot, Zuhair. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the fourth meeting of Nitrogen Working Group. Before this meeting, just a reminder that we had a capacity building about the Nitrogen Working Group that we organized as Trinidad and Youth Major Group on the 16th of September. So days before the fourth meeting on nitrogen. So I took part of this fourth meeting of Nitrogen Working Group in Nairobi between 28 and 29 of September. This marked the inaugural participation of the Children and Youth Major Group. This was the first time that we take part of this meeting. So the first day of the meeting was dedicated to the deliberation on National Action Plan for Sustainable Nitrogen Management and the enhancement of policy coordination within the global nitrogen cycle. The second day was more informal as we discussed action plans with the experts who were present to the meeting. As Children and Youth Major Group representative, we called for sustainable nitrogen management solutions and measures that consider specific impacts on youth and children. So a quick reminder for those who are not familiar with this working group. The background of this working group stems for the adoption of the second resolution on sustainable nitrogen management, resolution 5/2, during the resumed fifth session of UNIA 5.2 in March 2020. The resolution urged member states to accelerate efforts to reduce global nitrogen waste by 2030 and to share information on national action plans. It built upon the foundation laid by the first resolution on sustainable nitrogen management, resolution 4/14, adopted in March 2019, which led to the formation of the UNEP working group on nitrogen. The first two meetings held online. The third meeting took place in Romania, Bucharest, 27-28 April, and the fourth was in Nairobi last September. Between the third and the fourth meetings of the working group, significant progress, let's say, was made. This include the establishment of task team, reporting by task team on the working group, feedback from focal points on the task team's report, the exchange of written comments, and discussion on various options and modalities. One key development was the submission of country-level baseline screening templates with 24 submissions made by focal points, contributing to the consolidation of a draft action plan. Besides, a second zero draft of the voluntary action plan on sustainable nitrogen management was created based on feedback from the third meeting and additional written recommendation also. This voluntary action plan focused on 10 key actions, let's say. The first one are based on the leadership and coordination at the government level. The second one, monitoring networks, then guidelines for nitrogen reduction action programs, awareness campaigns, capacity building for farmers, public investment, and scientific advancement. Let's say that during these 2 days, the main outcome is the policy coordination feedback from the delegates present during the meeting. The proposed next steps after this 2 days meeting included considering elements for improving policy coordination, providing written inputs, discussion way to enhance coordination around sustainable nitrogen management, mapping existing nitrogen-related work with the UN entities, and concluding on recommendation for options and modalities at the fifth meeting that will take place probably on January or February 2024. At the end of the meeting, the second day of the meeting, as a major group, we delivered a common statement between all major group present. I mean, the farmer major group, for example, women major groups, and also we as children and youth major group. In this statement, we underlined the importance of national action plans tailored to individual countries, while emphasizing the need to break down barriers across sectors and engage all stakeholders, particularly women, youth, and children, in addressing nitrogen pollution. The alignment of national action plans with existing multilateral environmental agreements is also stressed in this statement. We call also for openness, inclusivity, transparency, and clear measurable goals in the development of national action plans, and we urged all member states to designate focal points to support this vital cause. And thank you, Zuhair. Hope it's not too much. Thanks,
No,
Zuhair.
it was it was actually a very insightful update on the working group on nitrogen. So next we move on to the LAC regional meeting on SPP Wave 2 in Brazil. For those who doesn't know what is SPP Wave 2, out of the previous union session, there's a decision by the member states to create a science policy panel like IPCC on chemicals, waste, and pollution. Like IPCC is a panel on climate change, so we are on the way of creating a science policy panel on chemicals and waste and pollution. And for creating this panel, obviously to further operationalize the negotiation, one working group named Open-Ended Working Group was created by UNEP. And this is, the acronym we use for these working group is called SPP WEG. This is a UNEP working group where all the member states, all the countries are members and they are negotiating currently. So for the next second meeting, WEG 2 meeting that's happening. So member state decided to have regional preparatory meetings in different UNEP regions. And one of the meetings that took place in LAC in Brasilia, I think we have few members who attended from our constituency in Brasilia. Joshua and Clayton. Clayton, I see your hand raised. Please feel free to share your updates.
I'm sure. Firstly, good day, everyone. I'm Clayton Bolton from Kingston, Jamaica. Along with, also we have Joshua Prentice from Trinidad and Tobago, and would have attended the Latin America meeting for on chemicals, waste, and pollution on the 7th of October 2023 in Brasilia, Brazil, and would have represented and also spoke on behalf of the children and the youth major group to UNEP. Right. Firstly, the experience for us was very meaningful, as we were able to benefit from cultural exchange, and we're also able to adequately contribute to the discourse surrounding chemical waste and pollution management and pollution reduction from a policy and also a youth perspective, in ensuring that the rights, the well-being, and the interest in youth are protected through the proper management of chemicals, waste, and pollution, right? With regards to the objectives of the panel, would have seen it fit that the panel operates within the functions outlined by adopting and providing up-to-date and relevant information, that they also identify the existing gaps in scientific research, improve on communication between scientists and also policymakers, and that they explain and disseminate findings in this regard in a very simple way that most people can understand, and this will be able to raise public awareness around the issue. And I think this will better support the need for, as said, for waste management, proper chemical management, and pollution reduction. Right. Also, in terms of the linked between what was discussed to environmental and human rights, would have seen where the output of the panel can be used to identify previously unknown impacts to humans and also the environment. We saw it fit to recommend that additions be made where we include indigenous communities and also that early career scientists into the pipeline with scientists and policymakers, that they ensure that local and indigenous knowledge remains consistently ingrained in the work of the panel. Right, we have also looked at the issue of plastic contamination and to prevent further contamination from existing highly contaminated areas. We ask that the panel bring together science and local knowledge, where they will have knowledge on how the compounds have been entering the environment, as they would have been the first line of defense. We also talked about awareness and capacity building, right, which was just one aspect for tackling the issue. But there must be also additional funding and also technical capacity must also be made available for all key stakeholders, right? We also we continue to ensure that young people in Latin America and the Caribbean continues to engage developmental challenges to include, as said, pollution reduction, pollution reduction, waste management, and also chemical management. And we ensure that young people also in the Caribbean and Latin America benefit from what would have garnered through information sharing and also youth consultations via online platforms and face-to-face meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Clayton. Yeah, for the next let's quickly move on to the next agenda item, which is on final intergovernmental consultations on nature-based solution. I'm not sure whether we have Ate or
Yes,
Nigu.
I'm here.
Yeah, Ate, please.
Thank you, Zoher. Hello, everyone. I'm Atia, the co-facilitator of Environmental Law Working Group. I try to be as quick as possible. The last intergovernmental meeting on nature-based solution occurred in Nairobi from 9 to 13th of October. It was the final round of discussion on nature-based solutions following 5 regional consultations and the initial global consultation. The purpose of the final intergovernmental consultations on nature-based solutions was to address various topics related to nature-based solutions. The consultations aim to identify ways to support sustainable investments in nature-based solutions and share information on financial resources from bilateral and multilateral sources. And the goal was to help developing countries implement nature-based solution effectively. The key topics discussed during the consultations were sustainable investments in nature-based solution, financial sources for developing countries, regional and global consultations on nature-based solution, proposal, criteria, standards, and guidelines for nature-based solution, best practices in nature-based solution, financing options for it, and regional perspectives on nature-based solution implementation. Several countries shared their successful nature-based solution practices during the regional meetings, and the UNEP recommended creating a repository of nature-based solution good practice example, covering various ecosystems and addressing social, economic, and environmental challenges. It was also mentioned during the consultation that as the number of countries incorporating nature-based solution into their policies is increasing, an accessible database would be valuable for researchers and countries considering nature-based solution in their policy development. And a consultation also suggested analyzing technical tools supporting nature-based solution and evaluating methods for measuring nature-based solution costs and benefits. In terms of finance, the production of a finance guide for nature-based solution source was suggested, and CYMG also presented its intervention in the area of finance. Establishing regional or national information hubs on nature-based solution was also proposed to facilitate the sharing of lessons and experiences, including best practices, standards, criteria, guidelines, and overcoming obstacles. A guide to terms related to nature-based solution was agreed upon to address the issue of differing definition, as many of the states dealing with some of the problems related to definition of nature-based solution. And lastly, coordination among multilateral environmental agreements on nature-based solution approaches was seen as beneficial for promoting a common understanding and consistent implementation of nature-based solution. I will put the link of nature-based solution unit in the chat box, and if you would like, you can go through the website and you can read the summary of regional meetings that best practices were shared in those kinds of regional meetings. And thank you very much to her, and thank you CYMG for funding, for actually giving us this opportunity to attend this consultation. Thank you.
Thank you, Atia. Thank you for your contribution. Yes, so the next agenda item is the 4F, where we were invited by FAO, the Food and Agriculture Organization of United Nations, to nominate youths to take part in the World Food Forum. Youth to take part in the World Food Forum in Rome. And we have Akiza with us, who were there in person, attending and representing CYMG with other teams. Akiza?
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Akiza, and I was a privilege and an honor to attend World Food Forum flagship events in Rome. So these events started from 16th to 20th October 2023, and it was third annual World Food Forum flagship event, which has drawn to a powerful causes with many huge attendees from all around the globe celebrating the week of actually intense discussions. The World Food Forum includes different parts, youth engagement, investment, and science and innovation. So generally, it has welcomed over 6,000 in-person participants and many people online. So coming back to CYMG to UNEP event that happened on the last day, which was on Friday 20th, around 10 a.m. This global assembly to UNEA 6 was held in one of the rooms, Ethiopia rooms, and it was a hybrid event. This thematic youth assembly, which was actually session 5 to the parts of the youth, agri-food system in the context of UN environmental program processes. It led up to 6 session of the UN, and this session designed to discuss generally agri-food system policy priorities in the context of UNEP, a negotiation, and we actually come up with a set of agri-food system recommendation from the participants who were around, and this can be used as one of the key priorities in CYMG as advocacy tool in lead up to UNEA 6. So coming to the glimpse of the event, we were 5 panelists. One was me as a member of CYMG. I was with Asel Abel, who is chemical waste and pollution thematic pollution in that thematic group. I was also with Shradia, sorry for maybe pronouncing the name wrong, but she was policy coordination thematic facilitator, and she managed to attend online. And I was also with Jubin, global coordinator of CYMG to UNEP, and with our one and only moderator, Viklant, Youth Policy Board from WFF, and also Asia Pacific Regional Facilitator of CYMG. Generally, we welcomed over 56 in-person participants and other participants who were online. We couldn't actually count in numbers because we were not the one managing the online platforms, but mainly the points of agenda of the session was mainly to introduce the participants to the work of UNAIR and CYMG to UNEP, and we also presented the UNEA resolutions and food system intersections and what has been achieved so far. And we also actually interacted with the participants about the key policy interfaces, youth engagement in negotiation and processes, of what has been done, what the statements have been drafted, and what has been accepted. Generally, the progress of what has been done in terms of the youth engagement in negotiations and different processes. One local case study was given by the Kochi from Japan, and this was relevant example to what we were presenting to in terms of environment and youth engagement in negotiations and processes. On the policy consultation, it was a truly session that shined a spotlight on the work of CYMG to UNEP, encouraging participants to join as an individual or an organization, and different processes that engage major groups. As we've mentioned, there are 17, and stakeholders were explained. Youth participation made it success, where we shared real life experiences in climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution action, including the achievements. Different participants shared real life experience from their countries, how they managed to promote environmental causes and what they have been done, or their understanding in terms of climate change terms, biodiversity loss of
Thank you, Akiza. I think we will keep it right there as we have a lot of other agenda items. I'm sorry for cutting you there, but we obviously have to finish all the things in this call. Sorry for the inconvenience, and yeah, thank you for the understanding. The next agenda item is the MOP 35. Do you have Clarence? Clarence, who is going to present on this? Is there anyone who wants to provide updates on this?
Hello?
Hello, Clarence. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Do you want to? Yes, yes, you're audible. Do you want to provide update on the MOP 35?
Yes. So,
Agenda item 40, yeah.
Thank you, Zohair, for this meeting and for our constituency, to the new colleagues, to the new members, and to other members. So this is inaugural for us to engage in the most successful multilateral environment agreement in history, which is the Montreal Protocol. So since its establishment in 36 years or 35 years, so they heard one statement from youth,
Hello, how are you?
specifically for youth. And with that, may I call on Victor, since he delivered the speech there, to share his insights. I think Victor is already speaking.
Thank you, Victor. Yeah, please, thanks for being with us. Please share your inputs in 2 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Victor Ben Kwabe, and would like to thank the Secretariat and thank you, Clarence and Zohir, for having given us the opportunity as the youth observers to really take part in the Montreal Protocol 35th meeting. And as you know, it was the first time that the youths were represented in that meeting. So first and foremost, I would like to say that it's a privilege that we were accorded as the youth, and we really appreciate that, because we are seeing that at least the youth voice are being amplified and the youths are really coming in the space, and we are being given a chance to share our views, and so we look forward to a real meaningful engagement where we are also guided, given trainings, given capacity building, so that we are able to also impact on the decision making when it comes to some of the recommendations, some of the actions that should be partaken in regards to ozone protection. So maybe I'll just share about some of the observations that we had during the MOP 35 meetings, if that's okay. Well, first, I would like to say that the 35th MOP meetings from the beginning were a bit technical for our understanding per se, because the some of the agendas that were being discussed and how everything had been planned out were all new to us, but we were there and we attended and we were able to really get a hint, one or two, about what was being discussed throughout the meetings. But all in all, I would like to add that the member states were really supportful. They were really encouraging because it was the first time for them having had a chance to meet the youths in this meeting. So they really guided us and supported us, and we were able to have a prayer for our second event. We were also able to have Indonesia in the room. We also have Kenyan representatives, as we also had Portugal in the room. Then I can see my colleague just joined, Winnie Juma. Maybe she can add a thing or two about what she observed in the meetings.
I'm sorry, Kabe, Victor, we cannot provide flow to others now on this agenda item because we have already crossed the time for allocated for this agenda item. Just to sum up, to give inputs, to give insight on this MOB 35. So this is for the first time youth actually got to attend any of the meetings of Montreal Protocol, and we got 5 youth observers accredited to participate Montreal Protocol, which is a huge success because in the 36 years, sorry, if you're not talking, please, can you please mute yourself? Yeah, so it is the first time young people actually attended any of the meeting of the Montreal Protocol in its history of 36 years. And we accredited 5 youth observers to attend, and we organized a youth side event where we had member state delegates from Portugal, Kenya, and Indonesia to take part as speakers with our 5 amazing colleagues from Kenya who coordinated things on ground. We'll keep continuing participation in this critical ozone process. And yeah, so next agenda item is 4H. Do we have Emmanuel to quickly share updates, key updates on the UNEP Faith, on the collaboration with UNEP Faith for Earth Initiative?
Hi everyone, my name is Emmanuel. I'm the thematic focal point for faith, thematic for the faith-based engagement. And during the NBS Nairobi, we met with the faith and ecosystem coordinator for Faith for Earth, Asmaira Albai, and then we had a meeting, and then we discussed on areas where we can partner with Faith for Earth, and also part of the discussions of the meeting was the Youth Council to join and be part of the UNEP CYMG Faith Working Group, and maybe if they want to join other working groups, to be part of other working groups. And also we are working on coming up with projects and also activities to engage members of the Faith Working Group. And also we'll be opening maybe Google Docs or WhatsApp where we can have diverse members from different faiths to join the Faith Working Group. Yes, I'm done.
Thank you, Manu. Yeah, thanks for your short but important, yet important update. We're quickly moving to the next broad agenda item, which is agenda item 5. Briefing on preparation for upcoming UNEP meetings. We have 5 agenda items again here, so I will request each of the facilitators or the speaker for each of the agenda item to limit the intervention in 90 seconds. Naira, do you have for the RCM in Europe? Or Europe or regional facilitator? Sorry, I think she is not here, so I just want to give you update on the RCM Europe. So as you have already discussed about the RCM regional consultative meeting that takes place in every region. So we have the regional consultative meeting for Europe in no, Naira, we can't hear you. Are you there? Sorry, I thought like you're not there. Can you please unmute yourself and then maybe speak? Okay, we can quickly discuss about the next one, maybe INC3. In Nairobi, as you know, this is a very important process, one of the most important processes. Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee, which is going to lead, which is obviously the leading the negotiation process to create a agreement on plastic pollution by 2024. Do you have Bawa or anyone from the Plastic Action Working Group to provide updates on INC3 preparation?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Kartik. Would you like to take a lead on this?
Yes, so as Bao is not here, so in term of INC, as it is in coming date, there are few planned side event, but this event is totally for in-person participants, as no side events is broadcasted like on hybrid mode, and the side event will take each day. uh, Language is English, and in term of our side, there is few side events. Like I'm not that sure, but there is already information note circulated in a WhatsApp group. It will be also shared via Gmail communication, as I can receive message from Bava right now. And in other than this, in Plastic Action Working Group, we have recently submitted the voluntary code of conduct, a intervention which was requested by Food and Agriculture Organization, which talks about plastic in use in agriculture. So these have been few work which we have been doing in past, and in coming time we are much focused on INC. There have been different outcome documents, and we are also in we are also working on few capacity building session, which will be like sharing more information in coming time. Baba is here. Baba, please take a lead.
Baba, would you like to provide an inputs on INC, because maybe on the written submissions we made and others? Yeah, thank you.
Hello, sorry, I had a network challenge. Kartik has actually mentioned a lot of activities we've done. Then we, the Plastic Action Working Group, also partook in 8 technical sessions UNEP organized towards leading towards INC, and also on the events towards that will be taking place at Kenya. There will be 12 thematic sessions or side events, which would fully in person. There won't be any form of hybrid sessions or online sessions due to limitations in gadgets and infrastructure. Then each hall given would actually have a participation of 80 participants. And for this INC session, unlike the second session of INC, which had or focused on 2 contact groups, this will be actually having 3 contact groups from the objectives on the zero draft, and a lot of discussions on the annexes and organization of work leading to its technical session and elements not discussed in the second session. Then hello?
You're audible.
Okay, the thematic side events will be taking place from the 14th to the 17th in Kenya. And like Kartik also mentioned, we were actually given the opportunity to present our ideas for the voluntary code of conduct draft from FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization. So basically, this is it so far. And lest I forget, on the 12th, leading to INC, there will be an event taking place where certain nationals will be holding an event on the Global Plastic Treaty. Then on the 11th, there will be a mandatory preparatory session leading to INC proper. So basically, that is it. So also, if I forget, the working group is also drafting a zero I mean, its position paper on the just released zero draft. That's it basically. Thank you.
Thank you, Bao. Thanks for all the valuable updates. Next we have
Can you hear
the
me now, maybe?
yes, Naira. Yeah, please take the floor then on RCM Europe 5A.
Great, thank you. Hello, everyone. I will also be short because we're running out of time. I'm Neira from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and I'm a regional focal point for Europe in the Global Steering Committee of Children and Youth Major Group to UNEP. The Europe Office's main goal is to provide guidance to national governments at various levels and to take part in dialogue on environmental issues between governmental authorities, civil society, the private sector, and other stakeholders. Regarding upcoming UNEP regional consultation meeting in Europe, we have just a second. We have a regional consultation meeting for the European region taking place from November 27 to November 29 in Bratislava, Slovakia. The consultation strives to prepare stakeholders for UNEA 6 and to build capacity to discuss and agree on regional statement for UNEA 6 with core messages and to gather input to the positions developed by the upcoming thematic working groups leading on our input on different UNEA resolutions. The RCM will be held as part of preparations for UNEA 6 to be held from 26 February to 1st March at the UNEP headquarters in Nairobi, Kenya, under the theme Effective, Inclusive and Sustainable Multilateral Actions to Tackle Climate Change, Biodiversity Loss and Pollution. And I will share a link to apply. If someone is interested, you can register. It's both in Bratislava and online. Thank you.
Thank you, Nara. Maybe we don't need to share the link right now here. We can further discuss how can we prepare a delegation for this later, so that we have like just young people who are based in Europe or working on the environmental issues attending that, because otherwise sending maybe people, I mean, if we send a link here, then obviously young people from different other regions will register for that, which is perhaps will be challenge for Europe office to find out like who are the regional members. Thank you. And then we have the next agenda item, which is the 10th annual CPR subcommittee meeting. For those who doesn't know what is CPR, CPR stands for Committee of Permanent Representatives. And I think I have already received the email from our focal points for the policy coordination group regarding the updates of annual CPR. So I'll just read that out. So currently they are taking a preparation to send a delegation to accredit some young people for the annual CPR, who are already part of the subcommittee meeting, who are part of the policy coordination group, because that's the working group, responsible for engaging people in the CPR meetings. So for those who doesn't know what CPR is Committee of Permanent Representatives from different countries to UNEP. And this is the subsidiary body of United Nations Environment Assembly, UNEA. And this committee meets once at least for each month, and then they have an annual meeting. Obviously, takes one, annual subcommittee meeting that takes place once in every year. And this time we are going to have the 10th annual meeting, and this will take place from 20th to 24th. And this time in this meeting, the member states are supposed to express their interest, on the issues that they're bringing up to, put on a resolution on for the UNEA 6 next year in 2024 February. That's the update. Obviously, we have few youths based in Kenya who are very active in the PCG and taking and attending different CPR meetings on regular basis. We'll try to, because there is no funding for this annual CPR subcommittee meeting participation, so we'll mostly have in-person young people who are based in the Thank you. Then we also have the SPP WEC 2 in Nairobi. Do we have Asil to provide inputs on this? If not, maybe I can add. Okay, so I can quickly share on this. So SPP WEG, as I said already, that WEG stands for Open and Working Group, and this is the working group to, propose further to create a science policy panel on chemicals, waste, and pollution by 2024, and they are going to have the second meeting, which is WEG 2 in Nairobi. Earlier, it was scheduled to take place from 11th to 15th of December in Jordan, but due to the current conflict situation in the region in the Middle East. So they have shifted the meeting to Nairobi, but the dates are the same. Earlier, we have provided 2 written submissions on the principles of the future science policy panel on chemicals and waste pollution from our constituents, and also the needs and the questions, the needs and the questions that the future panel may handle. So those are available. We will those have already been shared with the UNEP, and those are available on UNEP website for SPP WEG. I think we have few hands raised. I would like to request you to maybe keep the patience for a few minutes just to finish our next agenda item, because we are already very late this time. Okay, so the next agenda item is agenda item 6. I will quickly share on these because I think global focal points are supposed to provide inputs on this. So we're, as you know, that we last time before the United Nations Environment Assembly, we started, having a youth engagement event, which is called Global Youth Environment Assembly. And this time we're also going to have it in Nairobi before the UNIA 6 and the negotiation week that takes place before UNIA 6, which is called OECPR. And this time we're going to have the Youth Environment Assembly on 17th and 18th of February. Already we have prepared a draft agenda, obviously, which will be shared with you for further inputs regarding the logistics of the Global Youth Environment Assembly. So far, we have a confirmation from youth, we have a primary confirmation from UNEP that they will support us with the venue for hosting this Youth Environment Assembly within the United Nations headquarters in Nairobi. And they will give us the access to the main negotiation room where the UNIA takes place to host this Youth Environment Assembly, so that we can give real-time experience to our young people who will be attending. And so far, we are expecting that around 150 youth will take place, 150 youth will attend this forum, attend this Youth Environment Assembly in person in Nairobi, including obviously a lot of Kenyan youths. So the next agenda item is 6B, youth participation and in Union 6, which I have already mentioned. And regarding the CYMG roadmap, we have created a roadmap, focusing on the UNEP events that we have for 2023 and 2024. Earlier, we shared that with the constituency mailing list. We will obviously share again in future for further inputs or further ideas from your side. So far, we started sharing this roadmap document with other member states for mobilizing resources for our action plans that we have put on in the roadmap document, including Youth Environment Assembly. And so far, we got confirmation from the government of France that they will support with, I'm not sharing the budget, exact number that they wanted to contribute, because this may change. They are already in connection with UNEP to support some items of the Youth Environment Assembly, and they provide a budget for us to spend on Youth Environment Assembly. Regarding the youth resolution, as you know, there's a huge demand from our Children and Youth Magic Group members to have one resolution on meaningful youth engagement adopted in the next UNIA session and increase UNEP's involvement in youth-related works. So our many members actually who have actually earlier expressed their interest to join the drafting team have already drafted, and that draft has been shared yesterday with the mailing list, and that will be open until the midnight Nairobi time for your inputs. If you have any inputs, please use the comment section to provide inputs on the youth resolution concept note that has been drafted by the people of our constituency, who expressed their interest earlier. Regarding a research on youth engagement, in different multilateral environmental agreements. ME stands for multilateral environmental agreements, and SPI stands for science policy interfaces like IPCC, IPBES, and so on. So there's a research initiative that CYMG has already, taken. I'm not sure do we have Olga or anyone from the research team who are leading the research on youth engagement on this?
Well, I could give a few updates on that.
Please, Joshua, quickly.
Yeah, sure. So we have been doing research on various MEA processes like chemicals and waste. I think UNFCCC as well, and some other processes on the type of youth engagement that's been ongoing and any gaps that are there. So we've been broken up. We have a team now, and we've assigned different MEA groups to the team members, and we'll be putting together a report very soon. It's coming together. We're still meeting. Is there anything specific you want to ask, and I can answer, or no?
I think that's good for now, because we have already provided a lot of information regarding other agenda items. So I think it's enough for now. Maybe we will share everything in the mailing list. So I'll request all of you to keep your eyes on the mailing list, because in the coming days we are literally overburdened, not overburdened actually. We are kind of tasked with a lot of things, so we will share everything with you soon. So next, quickly move on to the next agenda item, which is the updates on the new constituency logo. Earlier, we requested for logo suggestion of the logo designs from you for the constituency. As you can see on the screen, that this quite wide logo that we have right in the right down corner of the screen, as you can see. So there's I think earlier we actually shared a form where most of the members, they opted that we should have a new logo. So if you have the design skill, if you want to help us with creating, a new logo for the constituency, please reach out to us in any manner. Reach out to me. Maybe we really need your help if you have the designing skill, if you can help voluntarily. So we need a new logo before UNIA 6, ideally before December or by the end of this year. If you have capacity to help us on that, please do help us. Then agenda item 8, updates on the GSC and OFT recruitments. As you can see, a lot of GSC members, Global Steering Committee members, who have shared update today. We also had few positions remaining in the GSC, which we literally, which we earlier, called for application for those positions, and we received a lot of applications. We're currently assessing the applications, and we'll provide you updates on that. On the selection, we will reach out only to the selected and successful candidates, and we'll share their names and details with the mailing list soon after we finish the selection process. Regarding the OFT, as I said, OFT actually plays the role of communication and administration team for the constituency, which stands for Operations Facilitation Team. And we will call for applications for different OFT positions soon. If you have relevant experience and skill, please apply as it will be instructed in the email. Okay, so now it's agenda item 9, where we will be able to provide inputs. Okay, any inputs you want to share, or anything you want to share, or any inputs you want to give, please feel free to raise your hand. We will be able to, I hope, that to give floor for few youths to speak and share. We have one hand raised from Vikash. Vikash, the floor is yours.
Yeah, first of all, thanks a lot for the great session. And my question is that I am not on our WhatsApp group, so how I can join our WhatsApp group? And second, that how I can join the events which will going to held in, I think, in Kenya. And third is that Yes, how I can, join the working group and the focal point. Thanks.
Because we have already shared updates on this. So if you have missed that, please go to our YouTube channel and then because this is being live streamed, so you can just revisit that part that was shared earlier, but maybe around like first 20 minutes. So you can just go through that and to get
Okay.
the updates. Thank you, Vikash.
It's okay. What is the name of our YouTube channel?
CYMG unit at the rate
Okay.
CYMG unit. Yeah, you can
Okay,
just
thanks.
go. I think we
Okay,
have
thanks.
already shared that in the mailing list earlier to follow us on different social media, and then YouTube. Obviously, we have a lot of capacity building elements in the YouTube, so you can just go through. I mean, those are really really great and
Okay,
translated in
I
youth
will.
language. So yeah, that has been put forward by our lovely volunteers. So please go through that. And
Okay, I will.
I hope that will help you to get a bit more insight about the constituency and its work.
Yeah, sure, I will check it. Thanks.
Thank you, Vikash. I think that we have few more hands raised. Clayton, is it a old hand or the new hand? Probably it's a legacy hand. Any other comment? So I have already shared my email and the constituency email. If you want to help us with the logo, please just send a basic email and then we can keep discussing or you can share the suggestion. We also have some recommendations, how the logo should look like or what should be the element. Regarding Okay, so WhatsApp group, we already have a WhatsApp group for the constituency. Unfortunately, it reached to the maximum limit, so we are not being able to create another group for this. Add more people in this group. Thank you, Fiona. Just to sum up the things. Regarding the participation of meetings in Nairobi, it's very important to specify because a lot of UNEP meetings happens in Nairobi in different times. So if you denote UNIA, so we'll give you more updates on UNIA. So probably we'll have some funded positions to participate in UNIA, but it's very important that you know about the UNEP and UNIA process and the CYMG because we'll have very limited maybe funding to support few youths to attend in the next United Nations General Assembly in Nairobi. So obviously it will be very competitive and we have to find out the best people who can represent the constituency well in Nairobi. Thank you. Just I would like to request you to to stay patient on joining different working groups. Within 1 week, we will give you more updates on the working groups, how you can join, because we are working on that. We're finding a solution, because we reached to the maximum as you know, on WhatsApp. And we were going to, find a solution how we can best accommodate more and more interested people to join working groups. So for the new members, please give us a bit more time, at least 1 week to, get back on this. And do you have any further question or comment or anything from your side, guys? A lot of new members have joined, so you can just take the floor now. We have just maybe 5-6 minutes, and then we'll close the call.
Sir, very good evening, sir. I am Karthian from India.
Karthik, yeah, please.
My organization name is All India Kalam Dream Foundation. I am the trustee. And then All India Agriculture Student Association, I am the Tamil Nadu State Coordinator, sir. And past United Nations online volunteer also, sir, for regarding end child marriage activity. Past 4 years in social activities like tree planting and giving the importance of tree planting in schools and college students, sir. Every tree planting activities in only schools and college only, sir. Mostly we are avoiding roadside planting. Why now? Due to the road extension, the trees are cutted So that only we are avoided the roadside planting. We are only planted the trees with the students in school. After tree planting, we will give the importance of tree planting to the students. And now I am planning the 2023, the end, now 2 months are there, where I am planning the biggest climate change tree planting event from our NGO, sir. We need your help and support through the worldwide, the biggest tree planting that program.
Thank
I
you.
already registered a UNEP as an individual member also, and then a UNEP organization register also to registered our official mail address as organization, sir.
Thank you, Kartin. It's better if you don't call me sir, just call me Zuhair. We are all volunteers here. Yeah, the one thing, it's really appreciable that you were launching a campaign, you're working on that. I really appreciate it. Just so you get to know it better. So the constituency, the CYMG, is not UNEP. So it's really not UNEP. We are the constituency to provide, mandated constituency to provide inputs. We're the mandated platform. A collective body of youths like you, individuals or organizations, a collective body, and to provide inputs to the policy making. So we don't have the mandates to engage in many, on-ground actions, because this is a platform which is primarily created and primarily received the mandate to provide inputs to the policy making, to the inputs from the youth and children to the policy making processes on environmental matters. That's one thing regarding the registration. Thank you. Thanks for registering and being a part. You will get more information, and we will obviously look forward to receiving updates on your tree plantation campaign. Thank you. We have one hand raised from Kartik. Kartik, please.
Thank you,
Yes.
brother.
Yes. So we have a question in chat. Who is coordinating IA?
Okay, who is coordinating Youth Environment Assembly? So, okay, I literally had another agenda I think to put for discussion, but we were literally a bit late. So earlier we created a year working group, and just to give you a bit more food for thought, that Youth Environment Assembly working group. The working group is kind of a standalone and a permanent structure within any process. So normally working groups are created when we have regular engagement. Well, for a year, we don't have regular engagement, right? It's kind of once in 2 years. So earlier we created a working group, but this is kind of giving a misconception. I personally believe, from my personal experience and observation, that people think that this is a regular working group, which is not. So we should think of renaming it so that people don't have that misconception that it's a regular working group. Perhaps we can name it IA Task Team or IA 2024 Task Team, and then when it finishes its work, we just close it. Otherwise, we have a lot of, as you can see earlier in the meeting, there are a lot of confusions with the people that earlier we did a lot of focus group, blah, 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 which is not closed, and it was not made clear to the people that this comes with mandate for a limited time period, which we really need to make our position clear on. So I'd like to request ideas on not, I mean, it really doesn't make a sense to name it like working group, because this is not a working group like other working groups where PCG, environmental law, and other working groups that have the regular engagement. Yeah, it's just a once in a 2 year thing. So perhaps we can just name it a task force, task team, whatever. That obviously for the year, it should not be led by one person. I'm not sure whether we had like one or two individuals who led this in 2024, but if someone who can be the contact person for now, it's obviously Gubin and myself who can help, and then probably Alphonse, who is our Kenya coordinator, UNEP host coordinator, and maybe the presidency coordinator, who is Omnia. So they should be the primary contact point for I believe that. I mean, that's kind of matches our mandate. Other than that, if constituency deem necessary to have one or two individuals we may be the contact person for the task team or task force, whatever we name it in future. That can be done. But for now, maybe we global focal points, Alphonse and Omnia should remain available for further discussion on yeah. Any further question on this or anything like you want to share? We just have 1 minute to finish. Okay, so whoever wants to attend the annual CPA, please send an email to the constituency mailing list. Sorry, not mailing list, constituency email. So you have this cymg.environment@gmail.com. Just send an email expressing your interest if you are interested to attend in the annual CPA meeting. But please, for the WAG-SPP meeting, for the annual CPA meeting right now, for the WAG-SPP meeting, our thematic facilitator for the chemicals, waste and pollution will share a form soon in the mailing list to express interest. But for annual CPA, please share your express of interest through email if you are interested to attend in person. Just to take a note, we don't have any funding even for the Kenyan local youths for this meeting. So if you want to attend, you have to confirm that you are attending with your own resources. We are not in a position to support with any kind of allowances. The floor is yours. You wanted to share something, yeah? Bawa.
Hello, I actually forgot. The Plastic Action Working Group through the Global Focal Points were able to also make submissions for INC, submitted templates A and B, and secondly, through the workings of the Global Focal Points, a few youths were actually selected for funding for INC, though on limited capacity, but that's just it basically. So thank you.
Thank you, Bawa. Thanks for your updates. I think we should close it now. If you have any further question, obviously you can always share. But yeah, please mind us, mind to give us some time to respond, sometimes to respond to you, because I mean, we are going through a lot now, as you can see through the updates. Thanks for your patience for 2 long hours to be with us and then get the updates. For the new members, my request will be, I mean, for the first time, maybe you'll see that a lot of things are going on and maybe you'll not get a lot of things, but if you just keep engaging and keep attending, and then you'll be able to catch things. So it will not be a big deal. That's how we learned and that's how we're engaged. So yes, thank you. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for all the updates. We will see you in the next meeting. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.